Okay, today we're going to start talking about the preterite and the imperfect. We're applying everything that we've learned so far this semester and last semester into one chapter here. And this is where it gets, it's kind of, you think you have a really basic understanding, but then you start using both of them at the same time, and it's kind of like, oh my gosh, which one is which? All right, so as a review, do you remember our preterite AR verb endings? Think preterite. At the very beginning of the year. Do you remember them? What are they? C. A, aste, o, amos, aron. You're going to drop that ending, and you're going to add those on. So we have a, aste, o, accented in the yo form and the he, she form, amos, and aron. Okay, so if you need to write those down, do. But if you think you know exactly where they are and you don't need to write them, then you don't have to. But you do need to know these. Okay, you have to know all of this stuff for this next chapter test. So you can't just kind of blow it off to the side and think you're never going to use it again, because here it is. It's back. A, aste, o, amos, aron. All right. The next group of endings for ER, IR are very similar. What are they? Excelente. E, iste, eo, emos, and hieron. Don't forget that the emos form is the same for AR or for ER verbs and IR verbs. Okay. E, iste, eo, emos, hieron. Good. All right. Then we had all sorts of irregular stuff. The first things we learned were cargar-zar verbs. What are cargar-zar verbs? Verbs that end in cargar-zar, and what do I have to do with them? Change. They change in the ending, and where do they change? In like what box? Not the bottom two. The yo form. Remember, C's change to QU, G changes to GU, and Z changes to C. Cargar-zar. C to QU, G to GU, and Z to C, and they only change in the yo form. So if I had the verb sakar, I'm going to say change the C to a QU and add the AR ending E, sake. And then it goes back to normal, sakaste, sako, sakamos, sakaron. It only happens in the yo form. Okay. We also talked about 5 irregular verbs. Okay. Ser and ir, remember how they were the same? Fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fueron. Okay, ser's to be, ir's to go. Then we had hacer, which is hice, hiciste, hizo with the Z, hicimos and hicieron. Darn, very, very similar because they do not have accents. No accents there. And they have the ER, IR endings. So D, diste, dio, dimos, dieron, and B, viste, vio, vimos, vieron. I'll give you a second to write those down for those of you that are writing them down. Again, you have them in notes from first semester, but a lot of people like having them all in one spot. So I don't mind if you write them. In this video I'm making, I am going to put online so you can have it to go back and review, or if you miss something, you have the notes already, I believe. You can go back and look at them there as well. But I do want you writing down what you need to have. This will come in handy for the end of the week. We're going to be making something. Okay, let's move on. After we learned cargar-zar verbs and after we learned irregular verbs, what kind of verbs did we learn?
Stem changing.
No, right before stem changing, there were those special irregular verbs. Okay, all those things that had irregular stems in it. Remember doing those? We sang our song and our stars do, you know, all those. You're sweet, I'm in Sarah. Okay. Oops, sorry, let me go back. Okay. Caribbean hardly no acentos. Okay. We had andar goes to anduve, estar, estuve, tener tuve, poder, pood, poner pus, saber soup, querer quis, and venir vin. All of these, remember, they were special because not only did they have the irregular stems, but they also had this group of mixed up endings. Remember? The yo form, the e, and the he, she form, the o, those are the AR verb endings, and then the rest of them are the ER, IR verb endings. So those mixed up group of endings. So these we can't forget about. Okay, lots and lots to remember. And by the time you get to Spanish 4, you're still going to have to know them because we think about the preterite to make another tense. Okay, so it's really important that you try to put these in your long-term memory, you know, and how you do it is practice. You know, make a flashcard, you know, whatever helps you learn. You have to put them in your long-term memory. Got several people still writing. Didn't. If you missed something, we can always go back and put it up, but I do want to make sure because we have lots of notes to get through today. So we can come back to these here in a little bit if we need. Here's some more irregulars. All these were special because they ended in CIR with the exception of trier. But their stems in the preterite have the J sound, the J at the end. The seer goes to D, trier, tra, conducere, producere, traducere, very similar, conduce, produce, tradu. It's the same group of endings, but in that third person plural, the I, you can't really see that very well with that blue background, but it's instead of I-E-R-O-N, it's E-R-O-N. Okay? J scares the I away. We need to change that to yellow or something. Okay. E, se, o, imos, eron. Okay, I'm going to move on. Now we talked about stem changing verbs. Okay, and remember it was only IR verbs that changed. So if it's an AR verb or an ER verb like recomendar, we don't have to worry about that in the preterite. But it's only IR verbs like servir, E to I stem change. Also, we had to remember it happened in the sole or the slipper. The two types of stem changing were E to I and O to U. So dormir, for example, in the present tense, it's normally O to UE, but only in the preterite can it change O to U. So it would be dormi, dormiste, and then the slipper, dormio, dormimos, no stem change, and then again stem change, dormieron. Okay? And then we also had spell changing verbs, and this was the last irregular part. Remember when the I is sandwiched between two vowels, it changes to a Y. Okay, so layer, and that's in the third person. Layer, when you drop off the ER and you add the EO ending, it can't be lay-EO, it has to be lay-yo. I'm going to stop this.